Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles and cousins, of course, and my new favorite, sassies and grumpies, or if you prefer, grandmothers and grandfathers, and baseball fans everywhere. Welcome to this edition of the Valley Baseball League's Rewind 2020 season. That's right. And boy, do we have a lot of baseball to pick from today. So here's the deal. 7 games were played on this date back in 2019, as you guys know. Just a reminder, if you just dropped in from Mars or something further out, Saturn, Jupiter, maybe outside the Org belt or whatever, we're doing a rewind of our 2019 season. Yep, the Valley Baseball League season was canceled, but the best we can do is bring you the best games of 2019 and look back at them in a way we weren't able to do before. And today in history, and it was July 13th, 2019, there were 7 games that were played. So I know what you're thinking, like, how do you bring and pick one game out of 7 to do the highlights? And the answer is, I got no idea. I really don't know. I think we used darts, but it might have been something more scientific than that. Why do I say that? Because when you say hi to the crew, Jordan, say hi.
How's it going today, fans?
And Erin, everybody say hi to Erin. You know she's here too.
I am here, and we leave the tough decisions to Jordan. He's the one that has to pick all of the games.
Yeah, because this is a guy who's absolutely killing it in science class. We won't go into details. All we can say is if you don't see him develop into a budding broadcaster on ESPN or something even larger, network, CBS Sports, whatever, it's because he's given up all of that to go and pursue the unified theory, and he'll be the guy who will put it all together. But hey, I digress. Jordan, how did you pick this one game out of 7 with so much action in the Valley, and for folks who are, the playoffs are just around the corner? Fill everybody in on your scientific method here.
Yeah, well, Graham, the scientific method, which, first of all, I'm never going to leave this for science. Let's just make that perfectly clear. But, the scientific method, a lot of it is, you got to make observations, and then there's got to be some predictions. There's theories, everything. Really, the data, so to speak, it's right in front of us. When you look at some of these games, you really want to look at some of these teams that performed and that really brought their best. 2 of the teams that consistently did that this season were the Waynesboro Generals and the Stanton Braves. I don't know how many times we've talked about Andrew Scheck, or just how the Waynesboro Generals are crushing it as John Leonard's top power ranking. But for a finale to our regular season, I think just the talent that these guys have put out on the field season long, I think it speaks for itself. These are 2, arguably, with the playoffs too, they begin tomorrow. These are 2 of the most dangerous teams going into the playoffs as well. And guys like Kobe Lopez, once again, with that Waynesboro General squad, these are players that General fans know all too well. Keep an eye out. Once again, batting .303 at the plate on the season. And Tyler Shuck tonight, he's going to get quite a few Ks with his time on the mound as well. He's got a 4.43 ERA this year. It's not necessarily the top of the league, but at the end of the day, it does get the job done. Getting the job done, that's going to get you time in our rewind spotlights. And both of these teams, they did their jobs incredibly well this season, Graham. That's typically how we pick games here.
Yeah, well, we sure did. And as the playoffs start, one of the things we're going to talk about is the check factor. He is going to come into play in a big way in the Stanton Braves attempt at the playoffs. And we'll get into that a little bit more. But there were 7 games in the Valley back on this day. And the reason there were a bunch of rain delays. You know what, I was scratching my head a little bit. I was thinking about this morning. We haven't had that much rain this season that would have delayed the games. So what's our luck that, in a normal season where we're playing, we're dodging rainstorms almost every night. And then the one season that gets canceled because of COVID-19 is the one season where the weather's been fairly consistent. But anyway, enough about that. Let's talk about the other 6 games that were played. Erin, why don't you start us off?
Absolutely. You're talking about a lot of players that we've been talking about all season. A lot of teams have been doing really well. Well, one of those teams is Charlottesville. They defeated Winchester 11-1 today, a lot due to Kamen Richardson, Josh Simon, and Thomas Francisco. They all had 3 hits for the Tom Sox. And Francisco, he now holds a 17-game hitting streak. So he's doing really well. And we know that Charlottesville, they bring the bats. both Jack Friedman and Cardin Malone were almost unhittable on the mound, which is why Winchester only was able to score 1 run. So after this game was over, Charlottesville won 11-1. Well, the Sox are now 20-12, and the Royals fell. It's really terrible English. The Royals fell to 13-19. And then after that game, I had one of those lovely doubleheaders. So like Graham mentioned, when there's rainouts, sometimes they decide to schedule games later in the season. So they'll play back-to-back 7-inning games. And this one was between Covington and Harrisonburg. And in kind of a rare fashion, they split. Graham always says that he thinks that they're going to split every time. But I feel like we've had a lot of times where we've had one team win every time. So this time they split. Covington 6, Harrisonburg 3 in game 1, Harrisonburg 2, Covington 0 in game 2. And a lot of it was due to our pitcher of the day, Liam McDonnell. He pitches for Harrisonburg, and he pitched a complete game shutout. So he went all 7 innings, did really well. He had 8 strikeouts on the day, and the Turks, they bounced back in game 2 and took that win.
Yeah, well, we got to check in with our wordsmith. Mr. Wordsmith, I think that Aaron is on the verge of a great pun there, but I think it's dependent on when the Lumberjacks, like if the Lumberjacks come in and they felled the Winchester Royals, I think that has a potential to be a great play on words. Aaron, I know that was there. I know it was 100% intentional. I'm just not sure Jordan picked up on it.
I totally picked up on it. I got to give Erin props for she's getting there. She's really getting there. I'm spending more time in science class right now, and Erin's taking over the pun work. It's
totally... No, it's good. I know that one. We're gonna hear that one again.
Yeah, thanks for saving me, guys.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. I think that I'm gonna use that one. Anyway, hey, thank you for catching us up on all that great action. Jordan, wrap the rest of it up in a bow for us, will you?
Yeah, Graham, you know what? I had 3 games as well. And first one being the Front Royal Cardinals and the Newmarket Rebels. This was one of those games that, honestly, Front Royal, they have really struggled this season. They come into this game 9 wins. They're not even in the double digits yet. But they finally solved that problem tonight. And thank God for John Leonard, because this man's a wordsmith on his own. He described this game as the Manhattan and Ordorf show. And it's only appropriate because these guys combined, they both went 3 for 5 in this game, 3 runs on the day, and 3 RBIs. And Manhattan's actually going to be John's hitter of the day from this ball game. He gets 3 extra base hits for Front Royal. So when you're trying to really get your batting average, it's not quite at 300 yet, but when you're really trying to get there right before the regular season ends, at least in what the 2019 calendar year was, performances like this are key. And like we said, Front Royal has really struggled at times this season. So to see a performance like this, a game like this, where it's a 6-run win, 11-5 over the defending champs of all teams, that really sets the mood strong going into the 2021 campaign as well. So fantastic game by Front Royal. And then as Aaron described, yeah, I had a fantastic doubleheader to work with as well. If you want to talk about comebacks, though, it is incredibly possible. And Front Royal may want to take a look at how Woodstock came through with theirs, because they come into this season. We're not even talking about the 2018 River Bandits anymore. I don't want to reference these guys in any future podcasts, because this is far from being a 5-win baseball team now. They took it to one of the best teams, not just in the North, but in the entire Valley League. They come in here and sweep the Strasburg Express, first game by a score of 10-1, and the second game, which we'll get to in a little bit, final score of 8-3. That 10-1 game, though, 7 dominant innings are going to come out of the hand of Ryan Mitchell in this game. He only allowed 1 earned run, struck out 5 on the Strasburg Express in this ballgame. And Andrew Puglielli, Graham, who we know is one of your favorite guys to bring up in these shows, 3 hits, 4 runs scored, really one of the most dangerous at-bats in the league with a .321 batter's average. Game 2, though, it was more of the same, though, when you look at it. The Bandits finished their 14-inning combined sweep in this one. They pulled to 1 game 2 behind in the North, where that position is held right now by Strasburg. But this Bandits offense, just a fantastic game. I really want to go ahead and call out Nick Halessa. Have a day. man, with a double, a home run. And I don't think it was intentional trying to get hit by a pitch, but he took one for the team nonetheless, and that's only going to contribute to the victory. 6 combined shutout innings in this game, too, came out of Sam Ewald, Brandon Haggerty, and Connor Miller. You know what, Graham? Honestly, Strasburg has really – I don't think I want to dare say this, but Strasburg has struggled at certain points this year where this looks like one of the most unbeatable teams in the league. And then all of a sudden, here come these other teams that are right there on the power rankings, right there, maybe only a game or two behind as far as record is concerned. But here is the Woodstock River Band. It's making a case for themselves right before the playoffs begin. 10-1 the final from game 1, 8-3 the final in game 2.
Yeah, well, what's funny is that is absolutely a preview of the playoffs, which are just around the corner. And while we're on the subject, just a quick programming note. One of the things we'll be doing is this day ends our normal regular season. We've got a ton of playoff action to bring you. So what we're going to end up doing is we're going to truncate the regular season games. They will end with this game tonight. And starting tomorrow night, we'll begin all of the playoffs. We're going to bring you the playoff games through the championships. So look forward to that. Hey, as we wrap this up, I do want to let you know that both Aaron and Jordan managed to make it out to the baseball diamond and catch a game. Aaron, why don't we start with you? Tell everybody where you went and kind of what it was like to be there.
Live action baseball. It was phenomenal. The first time I've been to a live game, any type of sport, since the first couple of weeks of March. So it was a lot of fun. I went last week. I saw the Wilson Tops play the Peninsula Pilots. It was in Wilson. And if you're not familiar with the Wilson Tops ballpark there, they play at Fleming Stadium, and it actually also plays host to North Carolina's baseball museum. So their baseball museum is down the third base line there. It's got a lot of really cool stuff. I mean, tons of people have played there. Even Mickey Mantle played there. So they have tons of jerseys, all sorts of memorabilia from players across North Carolina that have come through and played baseball. So I definitely took some time in the baseball museum to see some of that stuff, but it was great to see some baseball. Unfortunately, not too many fans were allowed in, but I think that's best case scenario for everybody right now. And, you know, everybody was wearing their masks. There's a lot of scouts in the stand. I think they're kind of eager for baseball as well. So they were in the stands checking out some baseball. It's Coastal Plain League for those that aren't familiar with those two teams, but it definitely was a lot of fun to be back at a ballpark.
Yeah, wow, and fun to hear about. How about you, Jordan? You got out to the baseball diamond as well. Catch everybody up on the action you happened on, because you got a great game.
Yeah, you know what? I think I'm actually kind of spoiled because I had more than just one game. I actually spent a lot of time this past week. I was really traveling around the Valley in particular. I was out in Dayton. I was out in Grottoes. I was in Harrisonburg a couple of times. Because the neighboring RCBL, they are still playing live action games. They played a shortened version of their regular season. It's only about a month long, but I had a great opportunity to go ahead and reach out to Commissioner Atkins, and I really want to thank him for allowing me to have a chat with him and how they're running their season. There was no shortage of great baseball from what I was seeing out of the RCBL. And the fans, I remember just going to Eagle Field for the first time. There was quite a number of fans there trying to catch a game, and people were socially distancing. People were wearing their masks and being respectful. And the league has done a really good job, at least in the RCBL. They really are prioritizing safety right now. They've got proper sanitation in all the restrooms, of course, keeping 6 feet away from each other. Certain on-field actions for the players, like let as the least amount of contact that you could possibly have with guys. So not a lot of high-fiving, not a lot of spitting or chewing gum or things of that nature. Everyone has to get kind of like a medical clearance from the staff before the games start. But let me tell you what, having live baseball back, it was a fantastic way to just get some fresh air and really enjoy the summer despite everything that's been going on.
Yeah. Hey, speaking about everything which is going on, I want to check in with Aaron real quick. When we first met Aaron back at the beginning of the season, if you haven't seen that podcast, one of the first things we shared with you is an interview Aaron did with Jesse Cole, who is the head of the Savannah Bananas. Jesse's got a pretty interesting way of doing it. In that interview, he talks about how it's all about the fans. They got rid of the sponsor billboards on the outfield fences. But I'm kind of curious, Aaron, are you up to speed on kind of how they're doing? Because it seems to me if they're not able to get many people in through the gate, that might really have a huge impact on them. Have you seen or heard anything from them?
Yeah, so they're playing in the Coastal Plain League's Southern Division. So they don't have all of the teams playing in the Coastal Plain League right now. They've kind of separated them to the Southern and the Northern Division. And each of those divisions have about 3 or 4 teams in there. They're playing each other, and then they will get a couple exhibition games in with other teams in the area that are in different leagues. But they've been playing since July 1st, and they obviously are not letting in full capacity, but they're in South Carolina and Georgia are the 2 southern region areas. So Savannah, being in Georgia, is allowed to have some fans, and they're doing what they can to let enough people in, but be social distance. They're still putting on their circus, is what they call their show that they do there. They have dancing, they call them banana nanas. So they're grandmothers that wear baseball uniforms and dance in between innings. They have a dancing first base coach. They bring players in on segways. They will drive a inflatable banana through the field with people on top of it. So they go all out with some of their marketing ploys there. It's definitely a lot of fun. And so because they're not able to have so many people in the stands, they're filming the games and offering a different perspective to the game. So they have cameras in the dugouts, they have players that are mic'd up, they have coaches that are mic'd up, and you can go on their website and sign in and pay nominal fee to be able to see actual like inside the game stuff that's going on. So they're always trying to think outside of the box down there and create a different way to watch some baseball and enjoy a game during the summer.
Yeah, well, it just sounds like fun hearing about it. Well, thank you both for sharing your recent baseball experience and catching us up on the Savannah Bananas. All right, fans, that's going to wrap it up for us. This will end our regular 2020. This ends our 2020 regular season play. Hope you've enjoyed it. Starting tomorrow night, we'll be back with the playoffs from 2019. And there's a lot of action to follow and a little bit of heartache to come. But, hey, man, that's baseball, right? For Aaron, Jordan, and myself, I want to say what I've been saying all season, and I'm going to continue to say until we're back on the baseball diamond. We're wishing you all perfect health, and we wish you all a speedy return to the baseball diamond. Until tomorrow night with the start of our playoffs, we'll see you. Thanks, everybody.
This one hit well out towards second base, but a leaping Burkell will have it for out number 2. Tough luck there for Chet Moore. Steps to the plate. 6'6", 265-pound senior from Reminderville, Ohio. Big swings at the first pitch. Joey Kinker will have it, and he will step on first. So a 3 up, 3 down. This one hit high and deep to center field. It's chasing back Sigler. He's looking up. This ball is out of here. You can touch them all, Connor Norby. Connor Norby picks up his 4th home run, and that is 4 home runs in his last 6 ball games. So Connor Norby continues to stay hot. Paredes has struggled with command. Here's the 3-1, and it misses up high. 4-4, the 4th walk of the inning for Paredes. That brings up Joey Kinker with the bases juiced. Ever a welcome. Paredes with the pitch to Kinker. In there, got him looking, called strike 3. And Paredes does exactly what we talk about, minimizing damage. He gives up 2 runs on the 2-run home run by Connor Norby. The Gens lead early on, 2-0 as we go to the top of the 2nd inning. Another all-star performance, or all-star performer, I should say, and this one ripped out to left field. First pitch swinging for a single into left field. Shuck with the 2-2. Swung on and missed. He picks up his 2nd strikeout of the ball game. This one leaves that runner out at second base, so a nice job at Tyler Shuck getting out of the inning. Winning program. Ball hit out towards left center field, cutting away from the center fielder Sigler. Nice play. Actually dropped it out there, couldn't quite see it, so they're going to wave around Kobe Lopez, and it'll be a double. I'm going to call that a double. Hometown scoring. That's a long run for Callaway Sigler. Summer ball can kind of be a bit of a grind. Do you miss this grind a little bit, or are you kind of more happy to be on that recruiting side of things?
I'm torn. I'm a little bit of both. You know, the summer ball grind is so much like the big leagues and so much like professional. How important it may be to us. You know, we were kind of like, yeah, we'll do it. You know, it's our first coaching gig as a staff, and you know, we put it in.
Nice play by your guy there, Logan Worley. Throw across is in time, and we're going to take it to a short break. But Coach, hopefully you'll join us back on the other side of the half inning.
Absolutely.
All right, so we'll have Matt Williams. More of Matt Williams here when we head to the top of the third. But the Gens do get 3 runs on 3 hits and no errors made by the Stanton Braves. We'll be right back. 5-0 your score from Integrity Home Mortgage Park at Kate Collins Field. You go back and you do your respective things, but you're from all over the country, and it's hard to really keep contact with a lot of these guys. But as you mentioned, those texts every once in a while as that pitch misses down low to walk Kent Rooklyn. But those texts keep you going, I feel like, and it's a cool.
All the guys on our team that year are texting PK like, man, got to see you on TV. And, it's just neat. All of that balls.
It's hit well out towards left field. Long run for Gunnar Peterson, but he makes the grab and left.
Out of the box and stuff. Looks pretty good. Looks comfortable as a left-handed hitter.
He's 1 for 1 with a single. He'll remain that as he takes up high for ball 4, and a dangerous guy to put on base. It's the first time through the lineup to kind of get that pitch count a little bit elevated, as this one's hit well out towards shortstop. Nice play from Kent Rooklyn, and boy, that happened so quickly.
Wow.
I mean, I don't want to hold you too long because Worley's coming up, so I'd love to have you on color commentary for that one too.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. So we'll be back after this little break that we take here to go to the top of the fourth after the Gens get no runs on no hits and no errors. They lead 5-0 here from Integrity Home Mortgage Park at Kate Collins Field.
Things you wanted to do, and we're very good at that piece of it. So that was kind of neat to see. And go back. And then, of course, we had probably the best team I've ever been a part of was that team. I think we were 45-5 in the regular season. And
because he was a bit surprised, but just a cool dynamic there, too. This one hit well out towards center field, chasing back Jackson Tate. Tate, pretty good speed out there, has the highest, or the lowest, I should say, 60 time in the Valley League at the All-Star break this past weekend at a 6.3, so a guy that can fly out there in center. We talked about Coach Williams and his infectious smile, his infectious energy, and you could probably feel that through the microphone here as he was really excited about still the Generals, still loves the Gens and loves his players that he's sent here to the Valley League. And Wes Clark's going to work yet another walk, and Jackson Tate puts a nice charge into this one. Over is the center fielder Callaway Sigler, and he'll have it for out number 3. So Guerrieri will work around a 1-out walk, and the Generals will go scoreless yet again here in the bottom of the 4th. The Gens get no runs on no hits, no errors. We'll go to the top of the 5th inning with the Gens on top, 5-0. Selden swings and hits this one out towards right field. It'll drop in for a base hit. Just the second hit allowed by Tyler Shuck. Shuck comes set, takes a look over at Selden, who has a small lead. And the pitch hit well out towards left field. This one chasing both fielders back, looking up, and it's off the wall. So around third base comes Selden. The throw will be to the plate, but will not be in time. It'll be a 2-out RBI double for Ryan McCarty. Really keep this thing at a little bit of a distance. And first pitch swinging is Moore, popped up to second base. Back goes Burkell, and he'll have it for out number 3. So good mound visit there from Tyler Howe. He calms things down. And Tyler Shuck calms down as well, gets the pop out. Quiseno gets a good piece of this one, hits it deep to left field. Looking up is the left fielder, and it is gone. You can touch them all, Eli Quiseno. Well, I thought this might be the case. I have said the entire summer that Eli has been flirting with it. Pitch on the outside corner or off the outside corner, and it's going to be a stolen base for Kobe Lopez. Kobe Lopez trying to steal third. This time he is out. First pitch swinging is Logan Worley, and he's going to have a single to left field. This one hit well out towards left field, and it's going to get down. So 1 run will score. They're waving Worley around. They're going to try and score him. The throw from Profit, and he is out. Curveball gets him swinging. That's Ryan McCarty at shortstop. Throw across is in time. Nice play there. Made it look a lot easier than what it was. And he'll settle things down for out number 1. They've had at least one runner reach base in each inning. But a swing and a miss, and it will be a 3-out, 3-down inning for Bailey Hall. Here's the 2-2. Pitch hits McCarty. A bit of bad luck there as he really just spiked a curveball, and McCarty really kind of backed up into it. This ball hit sharply on the ground to Profit at short. Burkell throw to first in time, and Luke Short rolls a big double play to keep the score at 6-2 as we go to the bottom of the 7th. It's stretch time here from Integrity Home Mortgage Park at Kate Collins Field. The Gens leading it here, trying to go for their 22nd win of the season. And they've done so to this point here in the past couple games. This one on the ground to first base. It stays down a little bit on Andrew Check, but he makes the play at first base for out number 1. And this one popped up, and when it comes down, most likely Bailey Hall will have his second 3-up, 3-down inning, and he does. So another pickoff move, and they've got him. Huge move from Luke Short right there. He went with the deceiving move, the picking up of the front leg the first time around, and Chet Moore got a little bit comfortable over there. So Luke goes with the step off, the quick move, and picks him off at first base. The 3-2 pitch. Swung on and tapped towards second base. That's Brad Burkell, and he boots the ball. Well, the Generals just really not a lot of concentration in this inning. In the pitch. This is down low. Another runner will reach base. So all 3 batters that have come to the plate in this inning have reached base. Luke Short trying to work his way out of this inning. It would be a great job to do so, and he gets it. Called strike 3 on the curveball outside. Mixing in a few pickoff moves. There goes Burkell. Pitches down low, and it's going to be a stolen bag for Brad. Would not have been able to tell you that he went 3 for 5. Skies this one out towards right field in foul territory. Colin Brophy will have it. So Bailey Hall works around a 1-out single. So Hall, 3 strong innings of work so far for the Stanton Braves. He keeps the score right where it is. Has become a fully 3-pitch pitcher. He's got that fastball, slider, changeup. Goes with the fastball on the inside corner. Gets another called strike 3. This one hit well out towards center field, but over is Jackson Tate, and that will end the ball game for the Waynesboro Generals. The Gens pick up yet another victory in this great campaign so far this summer of 2019. They're 22-9 here from Waynesboro. The Stanton Braves, the loss will take them to 14-16. The Generals will keep pace in the Southern Division, continue to lead it by 2.5 ball games over the Charlottesville Tom Sox. By a score of 6-2 here tonight, the Generals get 6 runs on 6 hits and can't take advantage of any Stanton errors because there were none made. And the Stanton Braves get 2 runs on 5 hits, and they do get a couple of runs off of an error made by the Gens.